Hey everybody, this is our 120V6, and like lightning, the panel work has improved and the Dobinson's lift kit is in. Look at that beautiful gear. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about in this video. You missed that. We've got a whole suspension playlist. We've just put a new radiator in, the 120. So easy to work on, especially stock standard, easy to get access to the radiator bolts, no intercoolers in the way. Much easier to work on, just a couple of transmission lines, radiator hose. Anyway, she's in. Next is the water pump, idlers, drive belt and all that sort of thing. It's looking a bit worse for wear down in here, but at the moment I just want a reference for myself about where the belt is and which pulley looks like which sort of thing, because we're going to try and get a BFE kit together for these. Problem is, I think there's too many different pulleys and bearings on different engines. All right, so belt configuration for anyone with the V6, in case you're wondering where it goes: over the top of the water pump, around the power steering, top side of that idler, have a look under there, around this idler, back out around the crankshaft pulley, over the top of that bottom idler there, around the aircon, that's the air conditioning, straight up to the alternator. That's also looking a bit worse for wear, isn't it? Anyway, and then under that idler, over the top again, back to the start in case you missed it, around there, back around there. All right, try and get some photos as well. I'll take some happy snaps. Okay, so this is the top one. This is the second one down on the tensioner. This is the one below it at the bottom. And this is the one on the left side. You might be able to get some part numbers. We'll see if we can get some bearing numbers and work it all out. Let's see how we go. Get the belt off. Just get your bar like this with your 14mm. Let's show you how the tensioner works. Similar to the 1kd, you just push on it like that. And then your assistant can unhook the belt there, since I'm holding the camera, otherwise you'd use your own hand. And if that's too hard, just slide it off one of the idlers first. We'll just gently release that all the way. Feels good, that's good. Don't whack your radiator when you take that off. That's why, gently and slowly, nice new radiator. Then we'll take the belt off and we'll take the bolts out of all the pulleys, lay them all out in the pattern on the floor they came off, and have a look and do some analysis. So we've got the belt off, the pulleys out of the way, taking the idlers off, and oh goodness, we're having trouble. We can't, I can't get this one undone. You go all the way around and then, it won't get undone. Just want to let you know, the one on the idler is a left-hand thread, so that's clockwise to loosen it. Okie doke. So this is the set as they came off the vehicle. One of the studs came out of the water pump. That's right, we've got a new water pump. The one on the left, one on the top, so this one was there. All right, so now I'm just going to go through these and see if I've got some replacement pulleys, and see if one of the pulleys, which is these three, this one was the tensioner, is that right? Or is this the tensioner? I've already forgotten.
This is the tensioner.
Nah, wasn't at the top. I think it's the middle one. What the tensioner looks like, you can see your crank pulley down there. You can see the access to the water pump. Pretty straightforward from memory. It's been a long time. It's just going to be undo some of those bolts. And off she comes, bada bing, bada boom style. New water pump. But what I'm trying to do, see this tensioner, it could be hard to change. Never changed one. And hopefully, because you can't buy the idler separately, so I'm trying to work out if you can buy one of these idlers to replace and use it on there. Do you know what I mean? Give them a spin and tell me if any of them are noisy.
This one's noisy.
Not too bad though, yeah?
Yeah, it's got play.
All right, cool.
This one's a bit noisy as well, but not too bad.
A little bit, yeah, okay. I'm not hearing it.
Minor.
It is windy, but I'm not hearing it from here.
Minor. So. This one's still good.
Okay.
Just minor. Yeah, this one's noisy.
That's the worst one?
Yep.
So the left-hand side was the worst, everybody.
Hear it?
Anyway, we'll do our homework. This is a bit of info for you, and subscribe, turn the bell on, because as we learn more, we'll try and share it with you guys. If you want to try and see the bearing numbers, I can't guarantee yours will be the same as mine. Oh yeah, we'll have a look and see what we can work out. Okay, Coke. So there's the old water pump. It's pretty straightforward to get off like most water pumps. It's been a long time since I've done one. So we're just getting the job done. You need to pull back the top housing. There's an O-ring goes on the pipe down on the back of it. I'll show you in a minute. And this O-ring here, where that housing bolts back on. So you get 2 new O-rings with a water pump, with a genuine water pump you do anyway. One of the old ones that we took off the pipe. It's 2 new ones and the nice clean gasket. They use a bit of RTV, but we don't think you need it with this gasket, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do the RTV. We just left the housing sort of hanging here. Take a few hoses off. That's the pipe in behind there. That's where one of the O-rings goes, and the other one's in the back here. The pipe slides on there, but you can see that's where the other one sits. So we're going to clean up that surface also. First, we're going to clean up the water pump surface, get the water pump on, and then we'll get this housing cleaned up and back over the top of the water pump. So water pump's going on soon. This looked better with a nice new radiator and a nice new water pump bolted into position. Beautiful. Anyway, there it is. I'll tell you what I did, and I'm not sure if this is the best way, because I'm certainly not the specialist on these. I'm just a common sense vehicle technician that's been around for a few decades. That I reckon I've got a few things figured out, like Toyotas are awesome. This one's seen a bit of corrosion, we already know that. It was cheap, and it's a pretty good one. All those core structures of the vehicle that you could normally have issues with seem to be intact, and I reckon it's worth spending a few dollars on. That's why I'm doing it. Yeah, bloody water pump in position, which is good. That housing bolts over the top. I'm just going to show you where the bolts are in case anyone's got a V6 and they decide to have a crack at this like a BFE job. I haven't got a BFE kit for these. And the problem is, it's been, every time I've tried to source the bearings on those pulleys, I haven't been able to get them or get all of them. And then you get a different V6 and they're different bearings. They've got all these different pulleys. It's really annoying, but you wouldn't think they'd be that different. But I really know I said but that many times, didn't I? You wouldn't think, like on the 1KDs, it's a lot of things very similar. There is a few different things, like the drive belt's different on the Hilux, the 120 and the 150. Like, hang on, it's the same engine. Why is there a different drive belt? Anyway, bada bing, water pump's on, radiator's in, as you can see. I'm going to be working on these bearings and pulleys for you. We'll see what we can work out. I'm going to chase up some bearings, and then I'll come back to you, hopefully in another video, with the conclusion, with at least part numbers of some bearings or some part numbers of the idlers you need. That'll only help you on this vehicle. This is a 1207 or compliance first 08. So an 08, if you like, 120 Prado with a V6 in it, where the 150 could be different and earlier and later ones could be different. But look, that's what it looks like. I didn't put RTV on this gasket. It's a quality gasket, it shouldn't need it. But from factory, they did use a bit of RTV on the back side of the gasket, which is interesting. And maybe the front, we'll have a look at it in a minute, maybe both sides. And there's 2 O-rings, so I did use RTV to help slide the O-ring on that goes in the back of the housing and help seal it, which I don't think it needs it, but I did it anyway to help slide it in mainly. I pulled the housing out and made sure I cleaned out the back of it a little bit. Excuse me, too much talking, not enough water. And to pull it out, we didn't take the oil hoses off, just pretty much everything else. We left the bottom radiator hose and the oil hose, and that allowed you to maneuver out here, out of the way. So, step goes like this. There's one bolt there. There's one your kind of top mounting bolt. There's another one there. So it's hidden behind this hose here, right? So down underneath. So they're your top mounting bolts. Then there's 3 on the housing itself. If you look down there, that's the top one where I'm pointing there, which to access it, you would, I'm just going to sort of go like that and go, can you see what, I hope you can see what's going on, because it's really difficult. But this housing basically bolts on with 5 10mm bolts, 10mm heads, M6, right? The 2 top ones, and there's 3 that go around that housing. Take a few hoses off, like the hose at the back there with that clamp right in the middle of the picture. This one at the top, those two at the top there, this one at the front, this one at the side. Careful of all the hoses. They're all in really good condition, Toyota stuff. No need to replace them. Waste of money. When we see them leaking, we'll worry about it then. What you need to replace is the radiator, because they do get old and brittle and the plastic snaps off, and it'll cost you an engine, which is why preventive maintenance. Yeah, so that's what I've done, and we'll source the bits. Let's just have a look at the. So this is that housing I talked to you about, right? So that you got the two mounting bolts at the top, plus these 1, 2, 3, and there's this O-ring in here that comes with your water pump. There's an O-ring, and see how it's covered in RTV as well. That's why what I did, I filled that up with RTV, then put the O-ring in, then smoothed it over the top, and bang, that housing went on there. And then obviously where the O-ring was on the pipe, RTV around it, and it just slid on. And basically we put all these bolts in first, and then those 5 second. So you can keep the housing out of the way while you change your actual water pump. You can see there was a bit of RTV on there, because you can see it hanging off there. But the quality gasket, it just pushes it all out. So I don't think there's a need to do it, because you can see it's all on the outside. It's all just been pushed out. So there's none there. There's none left there. So it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, because they don't do it on other makes and models. I don't know. You can see the RTV, the little bit that's there, it's just been pushed out. So I don't know if I've done something wrong, but we're about to find out. That's the old stuff going in the bin. New bearings, got the new belt there. Not changing the hoses, we don't see an issue with those. And we'll catch you in the next video with more info. See ya.